We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Devin Haney said he'll beat the brakes off of Paulie Malignaggi. Paulie Malignaggi responds, challenging Haney to a bare knuckle brawl. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. SLC stands for, that's my acronym. It stands for subscribe, like, and comment. It's that simple. Devin Haney and Paulie Malignaggi, the saga continues. It looks like in response to, there was basically TBV had Devin Haney and Paulie Malignaggi, and Paulie says basically, Lomachenko will beat your son's ASS. You understand me? Shout out to my man Danny Ramirez, who had posted it. So there's been this back and forth between Devin Haney and Paulie Malignaggi. I don't really know exactly how it started, but I know why it's here now. In response to that, Devin Haney says, I'll beat TF, I'll beat the up out of Paulie in the ring, out the ring. I'd even meet Paulie Malignaggi at 147 and we could fight. Nia, been hating on me since day one. So he's going off. Paulie Malignaggi seen this and says, little bro, I am a little crazier than you. I can't make 147 pounds anymore. Bare knuckle at 155, winner takes all. Wow. And this is, I mean, I've never heard of BYB. That's not the bare knuckle that I know. And then he put a duck emoji. So Paulie Malignaggi, he looks and sounds jealous and crazy. I mean, he's talking about a bare knuckle fight. This is a young man who fights out of the lightweight division. And he said he's willing to go up to 47. That's how confident that he would beat Paulie Malignaggi up. And then Paulie says in response, I'm crazier than you. Fight me bare knuckle at 155. So I don't know. I mean, that sounds crazy, and it sounds very unlikely to happen. You know, it sounds very unlikely to happen because at some point, like Devin Haney, he just has so much promise and he's making so much money. He's in the prime of his career. Paulie's retired. He's already making a concession by going from lightweight to saying he'll go meet Paulie at 147, which is already making a huge concession and jump up in weight. And then Paulie's saying, hey, move up to basically over a pound plus another weight class over and fight me with no boxing gloves. But the thing is, Paulie spent his whole career, the reason why that statement is kind of fishy to me is because Paulie Malignaggi spent his whole career as a boxer. To be honest, his only bare knuckle fights, I don't even know how many he has. I know he lost to Conor McGregor's sparring partner, Artem Lobov. But why would he be wanting to bare knuckle fight when you guys are both boxers? Like, he didn't say, hey, box me at 154. He's saying, meet me at 155, Canelo weight, and we'll fight bare knuckle. I mean, to me, that makes you look bad. Paulie Malignaggi's also a guy that wasn't really known for having a ton of power. So maybe that's why he's insisting on the bare knuckle deal. And he feels that maybe that gives him a better advantage. He would already have the weight advantage, being that he's older and he's saying he can't make 47. But either way, to me, this looks bad for Paulie Malignaggi. I doubt this will happen. Maybe they can spar, to give, they got some energy that they got to get off their chest. Maybe they could spar similar to Conor McGregor and Paulie Malignaggi. And then Conor McGregor, I don't know what you're thinking. He leaked the sparring, and there were some scenes where he was saying that he dropped Paulie Malignaggi and things like that. So I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I don't know where this is headed, but it seems like the two don't get along and don't like each other. But my thing is this: Paulie Malignaggi has been on record, and he's been promoting Eastern European, and he's done this for years. Like, first of all, Devin Haney says, "I'll never lose to a white boy." This was made famous by either Jermaine Taylor or Bernard Hopkins. I forgot who exactly said it first, but both of them said it. Devin said it. And for whatever reason, this seemed to have really bothered Paulie Malignaggi to the point where it seems like he's had an axe to grind with Devin Haney ever since that. He spoke and ended up losing his job. It wasn't solely because of his conversation on Devin Haney, but he was having a lot of race-fueled, race-injected conversations and making statements about George Floyd and, various things like that. Showtime, they asked for him to apologize. Paulie Malignaggi basically did a half apology. And as a result, they're like, nah, that's not good enough. And CBS, it sounded like the people up top told Steven Espinoza he got to just get rid of Paulie Malignaggi, never to be seen again. And you've seen Paulie Malignaggi since that moment, since that happened, and he lost his Showtime commentary gig. He just seems bitter, and he's never been on a high profile. Like, he's done some commentary for UK, and I think maybe some of the Social Gloves and the YouTuber fights, stuff like that. But he's never been on major fights. I mean, just look at it. Paulie Malignaggi was doing the live call for Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and Gervonta Davis fights, to going from covering some of the sport's biggest names like Errol Spence and Deontay Wilder and Gervonta Davis, covering their fights and doing the live commentary and call on Showtime, to doing YouTuber Social Gloves and, guys like that, Austin McBroom type fights, and fighting against TikTokers and things like that. So it looks bad, to be honest. It looks like he's envious of Devin Haney. He's been on this Eastern European kick. And since he said this years ago, that Eastern Europeans are, I don't know if Devin got the memo, but it's no longer the time of the African-American fighter. It's all about the Eastern European. Ever since he said that, right after he said that, you've seen a ton of Eastern European fighters lose. Gennady Golovkin looked horrible in several fights after he said that. Just lost to Canelo Alvarez again. I thought he lost to Lomachenko. He didn't look good in some of his other fights, like Ryota Murata, even though he got a stoppage in the end. Lomachenko, after the Triple G performance, he lost to an African-American, Jamal Charlo, and got beat up, right? Then he lost to Carlos Adames. You got the Boachuk dude that got knocked out by Brandon Adams, and so on and so forth. So on and so forth. So Paulie, he talked all that ism, and none of it was true. Then he said that he was picking George Kambosos and thought he could win. And then when Devin Haney beat George Kambosos, then he tried to make it, in typical old media fashion, he tried to make it look like Kambosos was a paper champion and things like that. And this is what tends to happen with old media. Shapeshifters, as I've always called old media, shapeshifters. They take on new form. They'll say Kambosos is a beast for beating Teofimo, and then when Devin Haney slices him up, not once, but two times, and makes it look easy, and really everybody should be giving props to Devin Haney for his Kambosos performances, because he really beat him two different ways. The first, he was like outboxing him with the jab, and then the second fight, he went back to Australia. Kambosos swore up and down he was going to retire if he lost, and he lost. And I don't think he's retiring. That's his own personal choice. But he got bludgeoned and beat up, and they were trying to, ESPN was counting how many times Devin Haney was clinching, and that wasn't really even a factor, because Devin Haney came out aggressive, beat him at Kambosos. What you would expect is his own game. So I don't know what Paulie Malignaggi's deal is. I will keep you guys updated. I doubt that they fight bare knuckle and all that at 155. Paulie's just talking crazy, and, you know, we'll see what happens. But a lot of what he said already looks foolish. Switching on Kambosos and making it sound like he had no hope to begin with and things like that, to also making it sound like before Devin Kambosos even happened, basically you had Paulie Malignaggi, who was saying that Devin would run from Lomachenko and he would duck him. And then Lomachenko fights against Jermaine Ortiz and he doesn't even look good. And I thought he lost to Jermaine Ortiz. So that's an L just based off of that. Based solely off of the fact that Paulie talked all this stuff about Lomachenko being the GOAT and Devin looking to avoid him. But at the end of the day, how did he look to avoid him? And like Lomachenko didn't even look good. And if you look at all the comments after Lomachenko's performance, all the comments I was reading, they were like, Devin Haney's going to beat Lomachenko. Devin Haney's going to whoop him. Devin Haney's too big. Even Lomachenko himself said, this guy's a lightweight. He looks like a heavyweight, right? So nonetheless, it's a good fight, Lomachenko and Devin Haney, but nothing that Lomachenko did versus Jermaine Ortiz should make you feel bulletproof if you're a guy like Paulie Malignaggi in terms of talking crazy and picking Devin Haney to duck and all that type of stuff, because Lomachenko certainly didn't look sensational. More on this subject coming soon. Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Devin Haney. He's doing what a real champion should do, a young man who's etching out his path and his journey. I have no complaints with that. He went to Australia. He left his promoter, left his network, took risk, took gamble. You know, really, Devin Haney did what I thought Terrence Crawford should have did at an older age. Terrence Crawford, 35 years old, should have signed with PBC, not taking the lion's share of money because you don't deserve it. Errol Spence is the big fish. And then, you know, you work on increasing your leverage by beating Errol Spence. Make good money in the first fight, but improve everything with your options and leverage in the second fight. This is kind of what Devin Haney did. He let Kambosos be the A side because he had the belts and more belts and all this type of stuff. And then he beat him. Oh, that's a dope picture with 40. Ooh. He beat Kambosos, and then he came back in the rematch, still fought in Australia. I mean, this is what you expect. This is what you want to see from a young fighter. That's all I got to say. Subscribe to the channel, and I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.